was a bad day at the office as Chelmsford visited for the last league action of September. Whatever the sports tried, it just didn't quite come off. And in the end, Chelmsford walked away 5-1 winners. After the match, we caught up with first team coach Hugo Langton for his views.
Okay, well, I've caught up with Hugo Langton after the 5-1 defeats this afternoon against Chelmsford City. Hugo, that was hard to take.
Difficult afternoon. I felt that we started the game fairly brightly and we were passing the ball, moving the ball, we were getting players that we wanted on the ball, players like Gavin McCallum, but then we sort of stopped doing it a little bit, and then the 2 goals we conceded in the first half were unfortunate. I felt we could have done a lot better with both, and it's something that we'll look at and we'll have to address very, very quickly before we go into the FA Cup game.
Obviously that was a turning point, the 2 goals in 3 minutes. You'd have to say that the red cards were also turning points.
Yeah, definitely. We could have done better with both. I felt the first one, perhaps our defence, the way that we'd set up to attack the set play, the way that we'd set up defensively in case we'd lost the ball, which what happened, was perhaps a little bit inadequate. And on the second one with Ian, 9 times out of 10 I think Ian would win those challenges, and 9 times out of 10 this season he has, and unfortunately for him today he didn't, and unfortunately for us that put us down to 9, and Ian sat in the change room with Brian, so made things incredibly difficult for us. But like I say, you've got to give credit to the guys that kept going.
How do you move on from an afternoon like this? Do you just try and shut it away in a cupboard and forget it, or do you learn?
I think you have to, a bit of both really, because you can't just sweep stuff under the carpet, but at the same time I think if you dwell on stuff for too long it can manifest itself, so we've got to pick ourselves up very, very quickly. We've got an FA Cup game here next Saturday, which will be a very hard game because it's the FA Cup regardless of who your opposition is, so we've got to address what went wrong and why, but at the same time we've got to pick ourselves up and be positive, because you can't let it manifest. We've got to keep going. We will eventually, I'm sure, put it down to, look, it's dealt with, it's done, now we've got to move on, but we will have to address some things, I'm sure.
Well, what I suggest, Hugo, is that you forget the first 91 minutes and celebrate the 92nd. Brilliant run from Gavin.
Sure.
Great finish from Hughesy.
I think you've got to give credit to the 9 or the 8 outfield players that were left on the pitch, because they kept going, and it's tough. You're overloaded for 30, 35 minutes with 10 v 8 basically, and they kept going, and Gav does what Gav did. He gives a bit of a spark, and if anyone was going to score today, it was likely to be Hughesy, and I'm sure he'd rather have scored in happier circumstances.
Onward, ever upward. Thanks very much indeed,
No
Hugo.
problem.
Thanks.